Hello there. Okay, just turn the music down. Do we actually have voice? Yeah, we do. Well, it sounds like we have voice. Looks like we have voice. Okay, so hello, I'm Rin Farnell. I'm a technical UI designer at UX That's Fine, and currently we are working on a game called Winterreach Emporium. And at Winterreach Emporium, there are 4 independent developer folks building a snow or ski shop, sort of like simulator game. It's set in a fantasy world with orcs and goblins and things like that, and I'm here to help out with some UI. So let's just jump straight in. We've already done 2 episodes on this. We're on the 3rd right now. We're going to build out this catalog here. There's actually something in game already, so we're just going to be doing some extra styling on that. Close this down, pop this open, hit the build catalog. You can see it's here, and you can see there's a difference between how it looks, right? So we've got to update these buttons down here. We have to get the main graphic in the background, and then I think there's probably a cost to these items. So we have this little cost thing here, name of the item, cost of the item, and there is an image. So we'll figure out what we're going to do with that. This is pretty loosely designed, so we have some freedom here, I think. So let's just get cracking. Let's get cracking. Okay, so let's go and find where that widget is to start with. Got widgets here. Might be the order log, though I doubt it. Staff list, resource HUD main widget, report widget, ledger, menu, message, order log, pause menu. Yeah. Build widget? This doesn't seem right. Let's have a look where this is used. Reference viewer. The build button. Edit this build button. There is a build button which will do what exactly? Let's have a look. Let's find out. This is old disabled logic. This is a slide in. So get the main widget reference, which is the main widget. So let's go find that main widget. Okay. It's going to ask if the main catalog is in or out, and then it's going to slide out to the main catalog. From the main widget, it's going to slide out the main catalog. Okay. Slide build catalog. Whoosh. So it brings it up here. Whoosh. Very cool. So now we just need to style that element. Now we found it, we just need to style it. So those assets don't seem to be in the project, so hopefully I'm not about to duplicate a bunch of stuff. But I do have the assets right here, so let's get exporting. I'm going to take, there is a little thing here where like these are actually like slid in. So I'm going to export things in weird and wonderful ways. If I could just control Photoshop. Okay. So first I'm going to export this double page. So we're going to press Control E, Control C, Control N, and then we're going to just paste that in here and then check the size. I've got a little process for just making sure that the size is good, which is to just ask GPT, is it a multiple of 2 or 4? Is this good? And it'll just be like, yeah, or no. Mostly yes. You've got this. This is a multiple of 2. It's not a multiple of 4 though. The nearest multiple of 4 is this. Is it a power of 2? No, it doesn't need to be a power of 2. It just needs to be a multiple of 2. Because it's gonna do something for us anyway. Apparently 1424 is a good tweak here. 1424, 2416, yeah, sure. We're just gonna tweak that slightly. All right, and then export that out to our project file. Export PNG. I think we've got an exports folder somewhere. What have we got? what do we have? We have working FPS. Actually, we have Winterreach Emporium working exports. Okay, so we have T_build catalog front pages or front page, or just we'll call it pages, and then we'll go back in here. Don't need this layer now. We'll grab this layer, Control N. What might be nice to do, well, actually, we're just going to do this by the book. Here, no, that's not what I wanted. Control A, Control C. Has that worked? Yeah. Get rid of this one. Control N, enter, cool. Get rid of the background. Check the size on this one. Let's just copy it this time. 2586 by 1513. Two 588 1516. Okay, file, export that. So this is build catalog BG, and we'll just get started getting those in. Okay, so one thing that I don't like, or I'm not liking, this WBB build catalog. There it is. So if I go, I want to actually edit that. I don't want to. Yeah, here we go. This is the file I wanted. Where was it hidden? Core UI build catalog. Fair enough. The UI is a little bit separated, but that's okay. So this is the build catalog. I'm literally going to import the artwork right here. I like to keep my assets, if they're directly related, together. I think it helps a lot. And if you have enough of them, if you start getting like a lot of assets, it's like start foldering them. But if you've only got some button that just has like 4 images in a common button style, and like you want that to be related to each other, it's just like put it in the folder. The assets are organizable by their type and generally by their prefixing and suffixing. So why have folders on folders when you can just have a nice horizontal, this is the thing, these are the things related to it. As soon as you get into shared content, it gets a little bit spicier. But all right, let's get this in. So we've got the catalog. So we've got, how's this all work in here? Let's get a brush in. Boop. Let's get rid of the color. Let's make sure we're using the right size. So we had 2588 by 1516. 2588 by 1516. Yeah, so that is the size it needs to be. It is a border though, so we may need to just size box this. 2588 by, what was it? 2516? No, 1516. And then this would be the size it needs to be. Where is this anchored? Is this anchored to the full screen? Yeah, we need it to be anchored to the bottom. Just do no offsets 0.51. Nice. And now we have this big old enormous dude. Might be a mistake. If I compile this now, go to the main widget. Yeah, it's a little bit big. It's a little bit large. It does. Yeah. Even if you're on 1920 by 1080, let's double check that sizings on these things. I'm worried that it's like scaled up somehow, because I have told it. Was it 2588? I forget. Yeah. That is a width. So what we could do is bring it right down. What size is this element? It's 1,200. Okay. 1,200 here. File, export that. Re-import those, a little bit lower res. Let's go grab this. I'm gonna go 1,200. Wait, that doesn't make sense. Just do that one more time. Okay, and then this is going to be 704. Now it's too small. Now it's too small. File, export. And here, let's go 1,400 by 820. And then we'll get everything else inside there. And this is a border. It has an overlay. I wonder why everything is like slightly off kilter. Trying to figure out what might be the best way to do this. So are we going to use images? Are we going to use a series of borders? Are we going to yeah, what are we going to do? What are we going to do for this? Just hide the interior for now. We've got this border again. We do have these close buttons that are sat between borders, which is reasonable. This size box, we shouldn't really need this because we can determine that through here. Size 1,400 by 820. Oh, nice. Yeah, it's touching the bottom now, but it needs to be raised up a little bit, so that's okay. We can actually do that. Raise it up. Which means we can use this in here. And then just not colorize it. And then we've got our catalog inside there, which will just offset from the edges by like 20, maybe 40 units. Okay. So let's compile that quickly and take a look at that in game. Start on here, close this, pop open the build catalog, please. Okay, so because this is a border that's not wrapped by the background element, it's actually escaping the bounds. So we need to do this a little bit differently. In this overlay here, we're actually going to add this border. And then we're going to go full size by 40 in inset. And then we're actually going to just align this to look a little bit more like what we had in here, where these elements are just like slightly lower. It's actually already the case. Does this need to be 20? Yeah. Okay, so that's cool. Let's go in. Well, hopefully that just works now. Then I need to organize it into actually like left and right pages, I think. Because right now we've got this issue where these items are just like splayed across the page. So we need to do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We can do that really easily. So here we actually have a vertical box with a grid. What we want is a virtualized tile set, I think. We could just use an 8-piece grid, I suppose. Let's have a look at how the code's doing this, because it's obviously doing something. We clear the grid, we go through the items that we're allowed to place, and then we update the page text. Page number, cool. Then we wait and populate the current page entries. We go through the item catalog and ask if there's a, current end index is 0 apparently, so immediately 0. If 0 is more than or equal to 0, which it is, and less than equal, if 0 is less than equal to 0, which it is less than equal to 0. If 1 is more than equal to 0, which it is, and less than equal to 0, because both of these are 0, so I don't know what it wants. It's a bit of a weird function. Oh, I'm reading this wrong. Okay, so the first thing that we do is run all the way over here and reset this function. Then we come in, we hit 0, we build 0, we add the displayed items, and if that was more than 2, well here, is it less than equal to 2? Yes. Then the current column index gets incremented, and we add the child. So manual column and rowing, we don't need to do that. We can use a nice list view, I believe. I think that that's reasonable. I'm just going to close that horizontal box away for now, and we're just going to collapse it, and then we're going to try and build. What we'll do is we'll quickly wrap this with an overlay. We're going to try and build our own using a virtualized list view. Well, it doesn't really need the virtualization. To be honest, you could just use a grid, a uniform grid, which I thought they were doing. There is a uniform grid. You shouldn't need to control anything in a uniform grid. You just add it. It does have. Let me just check my convictions here. Let's get a regular grid. No, a wrap box. I think that's the one I'm looking for. So we get a wrap box, and let's say we add, I'm just going to do this manually. Let's say we add 8 items to that wrap box, and that wrap box is full width, and then the inner slot padding is like, I don't know, 50. It's a little bit much, 40. And then we center that. No, we don't center that. We center the horizontal alignment. And then we can see that we've also got, you know, a little bit of graphical, like, meh. So it does look better like this, and then I'm actually just going to pad it from the left. There we go. And so we'll just fill a wrap box with 8 items until we go to the next page. And so we just won't draw anything above 8. And then when we go to the next page, we'll poll from 8 forward. So that's how we're going to do that. So here we've got the wrap box. What do we call this? Wrap box items, I guess. Just double check in our main widget that when we change the size of this, yeah. So looking okay. 1920 by 1080, it just gets bigger. Okay, so that's all good. Back to our build catalog. Let's go and populate this dynamically. So make a new function. Populate items. We'll get the wrap box items and clear the children. Clear children. When we populate items, we'll need a page ID. Unless there's already a page. Current page number, yeah, we'll take that. Okay. So hopefully current page number starts at 0. It starts at 1. Well, we'll just minus 1 from it. Let me go and see how page number is used. Increment page indices. If the current end index is less than the last index of the build item collection, there are no more items in the catalog. Okay. If it's not, current start index plus current start index. We might just recode this a little bit. Like a little lot, basically. Let's come up here. Let's recode this. Right. So function in the main graph. Sure. Add all available build items to an array. Okay, so what you do here is you just say, you just do this. You just set the array. And then here you say total build items is this. So it's a little debugger. So that's nice. So we'll keep that. Then we update the page text. So we're going to put this into a function. It's always good to, yeah, just put these things in functions, right? So cache collection. Let's do that. And then stick a comment around it. Happy days. A good nice little function there. We'll put this in a little folder called init. So that'll be cool. And then we'll call this one runtime, I guess. Let's close everything down. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to cache the collection. And in fact, we'll do that on preconstruct. Because what it means we can do is actually preconstruct the appearance of the entire thing. So let's cache the collection on preconstruct. Then that's good. That's a nice little function. Then we'll just populate the items, and that's going to be based on the page. So of the build items collection, we're going to make a new local array. L page items, or L items for page. Items for page. And we're going to construct that array. So we're going to build out that array. We're just going to say, how can we do this? Got a current page here. We've got a number of items here. Length. We're going to multiply this by 8 because that's how many items we can have on a page. We'll just promote this, items per page. Okay, and then So what we have is 0 multiplied by 8. It's not good, so 1 multiplied by 8. And then what you do is you say plus... How do you do this? It's going to be 1 multiplied by 8. That's fine. And then current page number. In this case, -1. Basically what I'm doing here is I'm going to find out basically where to begin and where to end. And then we're going to read through this array and say if we're less than or equal to this particular number. Those are the ones that we're going to draw. And we're going to cache that and then we're going to draw it. And that'll make for a nice clean blueprint. So first we have to figure out like where our start number is, which is whichever page we're on multiplied by 8. So we start off at page 1, so we need to -1 from this because we want 0 multiplied by 8 and then 1 multiplied by 8. And so yeah, this is start point. And then we add 8 to that, and that's our end point. Okay. So for this, so local variable L start and L end. Cool. And then we come into this item collection and we basically just ask if the index is, well, we'll find out, but basically it should be less than or equal to and more than these numbers. Actually, could it be more than equal to and less than? Yeah, we'll do more than equal to and less than. So as long as it's more than or equal to, in this case, 0 for the first page, and then less than 8, i.e. 7, because we're indexed. So this is an AND. We branch this, get our items for page, and we add unique. I mean, it's always going to be unique because these are array entries, so add. Cool. And then at the end here, because we're populating items, I mean, what we could do is we could take all of this, just collapse this to a function, get items for page. It's an item paging. Sure. Get items for page. Create a local variable here and here. Create a local variable here. Copy this and return it. Easy. Okay. That's nice and clean. And then, so for this one, it's just out items. So when we're populating items, first thing we do is we clear the array, then we get the items that we want to draw, then we do a for each loop, and we create a widget for each of those. And the widget is that class that we have in here. So we'll just go take a look at this class quickly and just double check that it's got exposed variables that we need. So it's the build item ID and the build item data ploppables. I love the name. Okay, so on the event graph here, we're actually going into the data table and we're getting the ploppable build data from the build item ID. But what I'd prefer, I think, is that this just has its bucket of information, unless it's a button. Let's go and check out what the button does. When we click the button, can we purchase this item? We use the build data's cost and we compare it to the player's money. Then we get the build ID and add the item to the tray. So it's an item that you can now place. Using this build item ID again, into the build tray. Does this guy use the item ID? He activates a placement mode. Okay, yeah, so the row name stays relevant for the lifetime. So that's important to know. So we keep that. What we do is this is exposed on spawn, and then this is local. So that's fine. It was called something. Catalog entry. So this is self, and this is the entry. And then we add that to the wrap box. Add child. And the cool thing about the wrap box is it has its internal padding, so we don't need to do anything with the padding. That's it. It's going to draw now. And so because we've got that on the event graph, we're going to cache the collection, populate the items. We only have 5 items in the array right now, so that's what you get. Now, if, for example, we were to change items per page to 4, we'd only draw 4 items, and then we'd draw the second page of 1 item. So that's a little catalog. And let's actually try it. So let's go 4 items per page. And then we need to update these buttons down here, right? So let's go and take a look at those buttons. We've got this one with this arrow. Now, I'd be surprised if this isn't already in the project. So let's go UI textures. We've got the cross. We do need that cross. Let's get that hooked up. Okay, so we have a button with a cross on the inside, and the cool thing about the button is it's going to shade the cross when we hover it, but obviously it's not set up correctly. We also have in our research UI that we built, research tree here, we actually have a button. We have this research button here, and all this does is say we have a size that we want to be, and we have a style that we want to be, that we take a texture, and then we have a button that we click. What I actually want to do is just make this a more generic button, so button underscore generic, we'll just call this. And then we'll come in here, just call this button size, whoa, access none from structure pressed. That's interesting. We'll call this size box main. Oh, that's impressive. It's really just giving me some. It's really just giving me some logs there. We'll change this to on clicked. Button style from texture pre-construct style. Cool. Yeah, this is a default button, sure. Research tab for the texture here. Also cool. What I might do is stick an image on the inside. Could make it a little bit more reusable. Hey, recently been studying UI and tech art. Your YouTube channel has been a great resource. Thank you, Mort. And glad to been service. Something I definitely enjoy doing. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have a center aligned image. This is just going to be called image icon, and we're going to tick this and bring it in to the graph, and we're just going to set brush on this. And the cool thing about set brush, if we right click and promote this to a variable, is that we, rather than defining size, the image, various other things, we just define the entire brush for this element. So the other thing that we want to do is set the width and height override for the size box here. So with common UI though, you don't have to do any of this. So I do prefer set width and height override. Default is going to be 100. What was your favorite? Are you still there, Mort? Are you still there? I don't want to talk to myself. That would be terrible. Promote this to a variable, promote this to a variable. I'm still here working on stuff. Cool. Yeah. A little bit of body doubling. So Yeah, I shouldn't really distract you, but I was going to ask which one's your favorite video. Where are we? Pre-construct here. Going to do this height override, cool. Set those to variables so we can see what they look like. Then we've got the brush here, so we'll just append that at the end. So all of this comes from the pre-construct, and we're just setting up this entire button. And this image should technically, the tint should just be blank, because there is going to be no image there by default, because we haven't set anything to be there. And what we'll do is make sure that its visibility is hit test invisible so it doesn't block the button. And then back on our button research, what we can do. Oh, hello. Didn't like that, apparently. Let's try that one more time. In brush. Turn this to 0. Compile that. Okay, so back in our research button here, we're actually going to delete all of this. All of it. All of it. All of that. Happy days. And then repairing it. So we're going to delete this as well. We're going to file repairing button underscore generic. We get our button back. Everything is as it was. Let's go and open up our research widget here, because we will now have some issues here. So we'll just change this. I found your channel because I was researching how to make a map, and your Division short drew me into your channel. So far I only watched the VODs. Yeah, I need to do more shorts. I don't do many shorts. Yeah, nice. Awesome. I need to do more shorts, absolutely. I mean, I have the tools to do them, I just never have the time. Or the idea, right? I'm not young enough for this shorts culture. It's like, what do you guys want? I mean, I'm not that old. I'm like 35. I'm gracefully turning grey. Oh. Right, we're gonna grab this little cross button here. How do I get it? Exit. As a content creator, I can say that shorts, Instagram Reels, and such is totally powerful. 36 here. Join my Discord channel and we should chat sometime. I would love to get advice. Basically, we can share. We can exchange. I'll give you UMG advice. You can give me content creator advice. Because yeah, it's like this has been a crazy little thing to do. It's just build out a bunch of UI on stream for like as often as I can, but yeah. Anyway, yeah, join the Discord. It's in the link below. If you like Arc Raiders, or if you're more of an Ashes of Creation guy, or just so many other games, play a game. Play a game while we chat. Okay, tab exit. So we got the tab. That's what we wanted. We want to throw that in here. Why did that not update? I wonder why that did not update. Question mark. Get the thing. Set the style. Yes. Do that. Compile. There we go. Yeah, and then we lost all of these as well, so that kind of sucks. Right, let's just pop them all in. 1, 2. It's weird that this doesn't happen on pre-construct, as I would expect it to do. Okay, now in the graph, we're going to have some compile errors because I refactored some things. So we're going to cast this to generic. We're going to pull this. Oh, we're going to bind, click. Come on, type bind correctly. Bind event clicked, and then we drag this down into here. We had an on research tab clicked here. It just takes an index, so that actually should just work straight off the bat. On research tab clicked. Cool. I just need to make sure that I'm cleaning up in here so we don't have this binding anymore. We have an on clicked event in our generic button. And so our generic button is just a button, and it can take an icon. It doesn't. You could add things to that, like it can also take text, but we're not doing that today. So back in our main area, we had this close button here. I actually just want to replace this with a generic button. Firstly replace it with the child, and then replace it with our generic button, and then. How did they shift this? Did they shift this with transform? Yeah, cool. That's totally reasonable. We'll do the same. Button exit. And then we're going to change the image here. Go back and look at the reference. So, whoops, that's the wrong one. Where's my catalog here? Right, yeah, so it's like slightly up the page. So let's go do that. I would also say what I enjoy about your channel is that it covers high level stuff and does proper UE structuring and not casting every left, right, and center. Yeah, right. And most UE content is kind of aimed towards people who know very little about the engine or programming. Or design. Like, it's one thing knowing how to make something work, another thing knowing how to make it work well, and then another or like performantly, and another thing to know how to make it feel good when you're using it, right? Like, it's a very UX thing. I think it's called Dev UX, or DevX. It's like the dev experience. What is that like? And so many tutorials I see, and like, for example, not to name and shame, but we're gonna go and look at the build catalog here. Obviously this isn't built for like a ton of other things, but like, as I've been cleaning this up, you know, there's a bunch of little things like graphs with stuff everywhere, and it's actually not that bad. It's actually really good. This is actually more organized than most projects I've ever seen. And in fact, I am working with these people, and I'm happy to be working with these people because they have some organization here, which is great. Yeah, and I mean, the function does what the function does. It needs to do a job, and I'm sure that there was like rhyme and reason behind this job. All we did was like cancel it down into like 2 little functions, 3 little functions, because we have the item selector. But, anyway. So, but yeah, definitely. I've heard that feedback a lot about the channel in terms of the fact that it's showing problem solving as well as, you know, thought process and in general, like, so very cool. Let's pop this up here. Just call this init. The most useful comment. Yeah, so we got this for the slide out build catalog here. Cool. Close UI button. Let's get this in the right place. What I'm going to do is wrap this with a vertical box because I know that all of these are relevant to each other, and so then I only need to move that box, and we'll do button, I guess, right, and then button left. Exit. Put the exit at the bottom. In fact, these had some offset, so let's bring that back in and then offset this and bring it up. Cool. So one thing I've noticed in comparison is in the original, you can see the back page coming out underneath. And that was the whole reason to make this two separate things, is so that we could achieve that. So let's figure out why we're not achieving that. We don't need the next button or the previous button, and then we've just got this border, which is our border pages. Okay, so here we got right. Let's just go 30, 40, 50. Yeah, and then left by 50. And then I think our overlay here is just a little bit too much now, so we'll just go 30. Nice. I think we're also accidentally lost a bunch of other stuff for this page, which is the page number, but that wasn't on my design. It wasn't on my design, in my defense. Dog needs walks, stepping out for a minute. Yeah, cool. Okay, so we got these buttons. We're going to finish these buttons up. Let's get these rolled into this UI, like by design here. They're like slightly angled as well, which is just, that's fun. So let's do that. -10. I like that. It's pretty fun. Okay. I guess the concept of core and not core is that they want us to have like a base blueprint and then, yeah, but we've got artwork right here, so I'm just going to put the artwork. Yeah, okay. I'm not gonna get too overcooked about this. Just want to get it working. This is a great example of, this could just be a blue texture with the icon on top. But it isn't any of these. Tab swap. UI asset ledger. So I'd love to have a UI assets just shed. And I'm gonna do that. I'm just gonna export some stuff. Right? Just like twist this so it's usable in a square format. Grab this one, do the same. Left there is actually, let's have a look. Is there an element, let's bring this over here. Is there an element in the original files that's just, what, weather icons, spread catalog, which is this one. We do have spread export as well. It's a big file. Huh. My noise reduction isn't working on my microphone. Oh, here we go. Look at this. This is all the buttons. Okay. Okay, look at that. We're rocking. All I've got to do... It's even just... That's just colorized by the looks. So these are all the screens that I wanted to get done for the game. Today we're doing the catalog. Tomorrow we might do this one. We just want to get it all consistent. So and that's basically the ticket. Okay, we've done the noise reduction now, so that's good. That's much better. Okay, where are we at with this UI right now? We are on the build menu. Ironically, the build menu doesn't exist in this. I say ironically. Unfortunately, the build menu doesn't exist in here. I see that these buttons are supposed to be down here, but I never knew what they were for. Looking at this, actually, what size is this? Whoa, it's enormous. I know the canvas is enormous. How big is this? I wish I had this yesterday. This would have helped a lot. This is 3K. Okay. I might need to go back into the build menu and upscale them again, because I'm looking at this now and I'm like, wait a minute, our build menu doesn't look that cool. If I pop it open, I don't know, it looks fine. It looks fine. I mean, it's missing the line here, but it's trivial. Like, I was going to do it last night, but I ended up playing games. I was playing paddle with my son, and he hates it. I hate this game. It's good fun. Anyway, buttons. Buttons seem to be good. Let's figure out what we're doing with this. Let's close down stuff that we don't need. Okay. Yeah, all I want to do is copy this into a new file. Or both of those. And now that we've got this spread, maybe we'll go and try and find other similar buttons. And we'll just get those all exported. Flip button. It's kind of annoying. Okay, we're just... Can I just do the... Can I just put these together somehow? To recreate that double arrow, and then we can use it as an icon instead. We're just going to copy this over here. And... Whoop. And this one. Okay. Spread catalog, spread export. Yeah. Is this just one? This can't be just one image. It's not one image. Okay, Control O. Weather icons, calendar slots. Maybe no? No, this is just a bunch of calendar slots. Is there a place on here where... See that? That's cool. We'll take that. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. So why? There's one button in this game that isn't made in the same way as all the other buttons. Oh no! Ah, look, we found it. We found it, everybody. Oh, I'm going to mess this up real bad. Let's sure. I mean, no, it's not going to work. 1, 2, copy paste, twist. Okay. Now we can export everything. Right. I will save this as well. Save as buttons. Okay, file. Oops, don't share this for review. Thank you. File, export as PNG. Let's go T_button. Oh. T_button_BG1. File export as BG2. I should have checked the size. Yeah, it's 181. God damn it. It's like 223. I'll re-export those. File, export as PNG, button 1. No, stop sharing it for review. File, export, PNG, button 2, yes. Third button, file, export, PNG, 3, file, export, PNG, T_, button arrow 1. File, export as PNG, T_button_ arrow 2. This just lets you like play around with the assets, right? T_button_BG4. Actually, for this one, I'm going to export it as one button because the double arrow can't work in any other way. T_button flip. I feel like we probably have flip in this code base somewhere. Flip. T_flip. Flip WB. W_. No, we don't have it yet. So one other thing that we could, I guess, technically do is come in here and then just post edit this. Just get rid of all this extra stuff around the outside. And just move that up here and just be like file. Actually, can I file save as button square. And then we'll just bring this in ratio 1:1. Nice. File, export as PNG, arrow 3. File, export as arrow 2. File, export as arrow 1. Okay, so we're just going to import that into a button folder. Assets, shared, import. We'll just import all of this. Then click across them all and go sprite actions, apply paper 2D sprite settings. Some of these have imported again as normal maps. So we go asset actions, edit, and then we just look through these. So yeah, no MIP maps, texture group UI, compression settings UI, sRGB, yes. Try that. Yep, so this looks normal. Okay. Need to edit that button. Icon brush. Right, so jumping back to our reference again. Now that we have everything, it's square. So it's this one, I think. No, it's this one. Put that in. And then the other one is this one. And then we have a brush that we can control the size of just in case we need to, which is going to be, in this case, it's going to be this one. This is going to be one. And then, yeah, you can see here we can go like 40 by 40. No. 64 by 64. 80 by 80. Is that pretty much? That. Copy this brush to this brush. And flip it. And compile. Okay, now we've got all of that. These buttons are a little large. They have a little bit more padding. 10 from the top of 5 from the top of the bottom. Okay, so now we've got our buttons. Very cool. Go 1x zoom. Aliasing on them. I think it's because the angle is a bit too much. Okay. Okay, so we're almost there. This can be unpadded from the left a little bit. Cool. So now let's find out what these buttons do, right? So button, 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 add all of those. Let's go one. Click for that one. Click for that one. These are named the wrong way around. This one is L. This one is right. Exit, cool. Okay. Button index, yeah, fair. Okay, so next page is to the right. This page is to the left. So we don't need to clear the current page entries. We just need to increment the page indice. We're just going to say we're going to go one page forward. And we're going to go... We're actually going to change the name of this function. Increment page indices. We're just going to say increment page. Actually, no, increment page indice is fine. Or edit page and edit page. Edit page. Edit page. Change page. Change page. And we'll and then we'll call this delta. And so we've got 1 here and -1 here. And then it says wait and populate. We don't need to do that. Print current page index set. What does that do? Current page beginning is, yeah, so we don't need to do that because we're simplifying the logic a lot. So previously what it was doing was, hey, MJ Tomsky, was cleaning up some Some cool UI here for a little cozy game. A ski lodge in the fantasy Winterreach mountain where they sell to orcs and goblins and fairies and stuff. Winterreach Emporium, it's called. It's a little simulator game. Yeah, so we're helping out with the UI, and something that I was just thinking was, as I go through this blueprint and absolutely hack it to pieces, I should really explain why. Because I don't want the original programmer to be upset, but I am simplifying it a lot. So originally the code was like, we know we have a number of build items in a list, like hundreds of them, maybe. And we want to do it in pages, right? And we know there's a number of items on a page, but they didn't define how many items are on a page. And then they didn't have like simple functions for like get the items on a certain page. So what we've added is like get items for page, and we can actually take page ID here. I think is actually better. This makes it more reusable, right? So page ID, put that in there. Actually, don't need it there either. And that's it. It's done. Like nice little simple function. We populate the items here. We're going to get the current page ID, current page. There we go. And then now we're just making the little function, or we're editing their original function that was incrementing the list of items to show based on which page you're on, but then reading the categories or reading the catalog, and then like pulling out the IDs and then putting them into a new array. And then like, so instead of doing that, incrementing a page just changes the page number. Then it draws that page with a little function that just knows, oh, why is that not letting me? That's weird. It's not letting me delete that. Yeah, anyway, sounds cool, right? Yeah. And then in the last episode, we did this cool, like spline based UMG for different pages on the research tree. So that was a cool one. It's like a little interactive dude, and you can flip these have got some cool functions in, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items, and then you can flip them. You can unlock them. You can change their set, so it changes how they look. This is like the yellow set, the red set, and this set. And you could just add any number of graphics and stuff that you want in there. This is just like an example, but yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool asset. Okay, so changing the page. In this case, all we need to do is take the current page and just say add. I'm going to remove a bunch of stuff from here. We're going to add the delta and ask if that is less than 0, then we'll do one thing. If it's more than 0, we'll do something else, basically. And then this is going to update all the pages, right? So I don't want to do any of this. We're going to change the page. We're going to add the delta. We're going to set the new, or we're going to set the current page. Where is it? Current page number. We're going to set the current page number to a selector. The selector just says, if this number was less than 0, then it should be the last number. And if this number was more than max pages, which is going to have to be a function, get max pages, put that into item paging. This needs a return. Let's jump over to our music real quick and put something else on. Oh my god, don't let there be no music. No. Cool. I'm back. Totally back. How did you make those dynamic splines? I wrote a plugin. I did that over Christmas. Before I even knew about this project, I played Ashes of Creation over the Christmas break. I've been looking for a game for what feels like years that has grass in it. Pretty simple want. I just want to go running around some fields, maybe fight some fantasy enemies. I just want to have green grass, sun, forest, maybe some dark, evil, World of Warcraft stuff, right? So, anyway, Ashes of Creation comes out, and I end up playing it over the Christmas break, and I got absolutely lost in it. It was awesome, and I haven't played it since, because it's like a lifestyle game, and I can't do that while I'm working, so haven't spent a single hour on it since the Christmas break. But in that game, there was just so much UI, and after a year of doing UI on stream, I was just totally like rejuvenated of inspiration. And so it had maps with like virtualized tiling for like this huge world map, right? And I'm like, oh, I could make that. I know how to make that. I could make that. They had road splines, like dots on the roads that you can see. They've got like region textures and stuff. And I was just sat there. I was like, man, I could make all of this. And then I just did. I was like, screw it. I'm gonna go write some C++ plugins that do splines, that do like area regions. I'm going to do some stuff that's like take a spline in the world and actually produce a proper collision geometry for it, so I can enter a territory in a world, or a region in a world space, and have one of those like Elden Ring style like form. You have entered, this place. So I could do all that sort of stuff now. I've got all the tools for that. And yeah, little plug, I'm going to be putting them all up on the Fab Marketplace. So little side project of mine there is learning C++ tooling, I would call it. I call it that because I'm using AI to help me write it, right? So I'm designing it, I'm tech designing it, I'm coming up with the affordances for the DevX, like the dev experience, like how it feels, how it works. And so quick example, well, we'll just jump into this widget here and we'll just throw in a spline widget. This is my widget. So we have, where did it go? Nailed it. Where did it go? it's just, that was the worst demo. Now I can't even delete the thing. That's hilarious. Well, let's try it one more time. Overlay, spline widget. Okay, now we move this down here. So you see how you actually have like the, the handles. So that's pretty cool. One of the cool things that you can do, if I remember correctly, yeah, you go to the edit project settings and you go to the primers. I think it's at the bottom. Primers light. You can change all the look and appearance of this, right? So at the moment, yellow is not really helping me out here. So let's just make them black, I guess. That'll be fine. Make these black. Make these lines black. I don't want dotted lines. I want my lines to be thicker. I do want dash lines, but I want the dashes to be different. You can also use materials. The materials are pretty cool. Like for example, this dashed line here, we could instead use, we could go to plugins, go to my plugin, go to my demo, go to my materials. We could use, let's have a look, we could use dots. Let's put some dots on that line. So we've got the dots in there now, but then you need to change the thickness. So yeah, so now it's got dots instead of, and that works on the spline as well. Like the spline, these are all technically splines. Like even the handles are splines. Technically. But anyway, so that's the tool, and then you can do all other stuff. So you can alt drag to create new points. You can control click to move multiple points at the same time. You can also like take 2 points and then duplicate them. So you can do multi-dupe, you can do multi-delete, you can do single delete. You can, what else can you do? Yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff. Oh, you can anchor them. That's the main one. Yeah, yeah. So I added anchoring because that seemed pretty important. And so with anchoring, you basically define a cardinal, you know, where do you want this to be? 0 to 1 space, and then which direction do you want it to come off, and then as you move either of them, they both move. Very cool. Very cool little plugin that will be coming to the marketplace near you. One day. I don't know when. That was my New Year's resolution though. When I decided to just, I'm going to make some plugins, I was like, my New Year's resolution is to, after like 10 years of saying I'll do it, is to put some stuff on the marketplace. Because I just never find the time. And so I pretty much spent the Christmas holiday doing that. Well, I played an absolute ton of Ashes of Creation, I'll tell you that. Where were we? We were playing with these buttons, we were changing pages, we're getting max pages, right? So we've got a build collection. We've got a length in the build collection. I don't know how we're going to do this part, right? Making plugins, having a life. Yeah, sure. I've accepted that bit, like, until summer, basically. Winter is a great time for me to work because I love the cold, I love the rain. I'll hang out in it, but obviously I'm not going to go out and do much in the rain. So in the summer, I want to go back out in the spring and the summer. So winter months, like, grind it out, you know. Okay, so item pages here. Items per page. It should just be a straight division. It should just be a straight division. Let's just try that. We'll go pure for this because we're not doing any functionality. We could make it const, obviously, if we were being really anal. We're not going to do that. Get max pages here. Okay, so if it's more than max pages, we'll change it to something else. Okay, if current end index, that's wrong. If current page number plus delta is less than 0, then we are going to make it max pages. Probably max pages minus 1, to be honest. Probably makes more sense. If it's not less than 0, i.e. we're not going left and trying to wrap around to the end. If we want to be on the last one. Or sorry, we're not less than 0, so we ask if we're more than the end. And if we are more than the end, then we go to 0. Otherwise, we're neither less than 0 and we're not more than the end. So we just use the actual value. And that is how you do that. Or how I do that. It's not how you do that. You may do it however you like. But that's how I like to do it. Because now we just plug this delta in like this. We just say, hey, we're changing the delta. We're wrapping the delta. There is actually a wrap. There is actually a wrap integer, but it doesn't work. So we're not going to use it. I hate that there's a wrap integer function and the wrap integer function doesn't work. So once we've changed the page number, we just actually change the page. Sorry, not change the page. We actually populate the items. Or populate the page, I should call it. Populate page. So we've got change page. We've got this little helper for get max pages. We've got get items for page. Clear current page entries, populate current page entries. Yeah, like all of this extra stuff. I wouldn't say it was wrong. I'd say it's a different way of doing it. And I think that the way that they want it is this way. You watch, I'll go and talk to them and they'll be like, why did you do that? Update page text though. Page number. I see. We'll call this update page number. Right? Update page number. That's fine. We'll call it update page text. Give them the benefit of the doubt. When we change the page, whenever we change the page, or rather even whenever we populate the page, really. I don't know. When should we do this? Cache the collection, populate the page, update the page text. Anytime that we change the page, we should update the page text. We've got the items per page, we've got the cache page, we've got this. We don't need page indices, we don't need populate current pages, although apparently it is used, so let's go find out why and where. Populate page entries, cache, yeah, okay, so all of this can go. Little cleaner graph here. It's basically got its init and it's got its functions, and that is the class now. It's got its buttons and it's got its init and its regular functions. And now we can delete unused variables, which apparently all of them are in use. Start, index, end. Where are we using these? Populate current page. Yeah, sorry. Populate current page entries. Clear current page entries. Edit. Delete unused variables. Current displayed items. Sure. Get items for populate page. Populate page. Yeah. Get max pages. Update page text. Cache collection. Item paging. Macros. Print current page info. Don't really need to. It's like the simplest. It's very simple. Delete unused variables. Cool. Okay. Yep. That should be it. And then now we can just hit play. What time are we on? Oh my god, I can go pick up my kid from school. I've done it. I've done it, lads. I've done a stream and I haven't gone for 5 hours. Build catalog. Look at that sexy build catalog. Sadly, it is actually showing 5 items, which is not what I wanted. And the buttons don't work. The bloody buttons don't work. Son of a bee. Maybe that's why we had the print. Let's bring that print back. Print this. Change page. Print page. Just literally print the page number, please. Current beginning page is this. No, just print the page. Actually, let's bring that back. No, we don't need to do this. Why are we doing 3 prints in a row? Let's just do 1 print. From text or to string. Text to string. And then we'll format this. Whoops. Format text. This will be like page number. Page. Of. Actually, we could just do page and it will be like page something of max. And then items per page. Items. Get rid of this. Current page number. And then items per page. And then max pages. Cool. Max, page, items per page. Press Q on this to line it all up. Boom, boom, boom. Close that out. Bring it over here. Wham, bam. Thank you. Who needs the blueprint debugger anyway? You're not wrong. You're not wrong. I could have just looked at the thing. You know what? There's just so much stuff to the scalpel that is Unreal Engine that sometimes you just forget. And you just need someone there in the back of your head saying, you know what? Screw the debugger. Why are there 3 build catalogs? Found a bug. Oh god, there's like double music right now. Current page number is 1. Items per page are 8. That's not right. What about the other one? 8 items per page. Yeah. Sure. That's wrong. Reference viewer. Catalog entry, main widget here. Click. You can't possibly be setting it to 8, can you? Build catalog here. I don't want to be in an animation, thank you. Why can't I set the variables? Oh, it's locked. Why is it 8 items per page? 4. Qu'est-ce que tu... Where indeed is it getting that number from? We should expose this. Items per page would be a nice thing to expose. And then let's find out what it is. It's 8. Boop. Okay, play. Hit. Start. No. Build catalog, please. Next page. There's nothing on this page, lads. It's empty. There's 2 pages, but there's nothing on this page. Why is that then? Build catalog, change page. Well, let's find out how many pages there are. Build catalog. Next page, please. The delta is 1. The maximum number of pages is incorrect. The length of entries is 5 divided by 4 is technically 1. So that is wrong. Divisor. Whole and remainder. The dividend and the divisor, and then the remainder. The remainder is going to be like 1 or 2 or 4. So basically, if this is more than nothing, then we take this and we add 1. Select. If this is more than 0, we will add 1 to the maximum number of pages because we have 1 more page than is actually defined, right? Right? Get rid of this divisor here. Get 5 divided by 4, get 1 output plus 1 if the remainder is more than nothing, which it will be because it will be 1. Then come into here and say, hey, we have 2 pages. We want to select an integer. If the number of current pages is less than 0, which it won't be because we're adding 1, the delta was 1. We started at 1, we went to 2. I hate that we start at 1. This needs to start at 0, page 0. At page 0, we add 1. If that's more than, in this case, 2. Yeah, so this needs to come out at -1. That's more than 1, then it goes back to 0. Okay. Then let's go to our populate function, because at the beginning of this, I chose to not use page ID as it is. I was minusing 1 from it because I was like, oh, these guys are using non-zero indexed numbers for their code. Always use 0 indexed numbers. It eliminates the question, is this 0 based? It's like, is it an index? Yes, then it's 0 based. And do you have some text you want to display? Then you add 1. Which actually is a good point, because now current page number is indexed. So we say +1 on here. Actually, no, we'll use the index. No, because it's not going to make sense, is it? It's not going to make sense. Not divide by 1. +1 here. And then that also needs to be the case in update page text, because that is now going to be 1. Design. I lost the page number. It used to be here. Here you are, sir. Wait, what? Overlay? horizontal box. Ah, yes. Yes. Text for the catalog. You can go top left. Top left by 50 units. Gosh, you're below everything. That's terrible. I'm not going to be able to pick up my son. I lied. No, I've got 5 minutes. I've got 5 minutes. Left by 90. Page number, please. Where art thou? Page number. Page number right there. Found you. You can go top right. Yeah, you look good. You can go top left. You do not need to be padded that much. Okay. And then we can get rid of this whole thing. So we don't need it now. And then if we did have 5 entries, it looks a bit naff. So let's get a little bit less on the vertical padding here. Top 25, 20. It's getting tight. It's a little bit tight. 45. Yeah, we'll go with that. Okay, and then, yeah, page 1. Nice. And then page 2, please. Page number, page 1. Index. Indexed. I shouldn't call it page number. I should call it page index. Let's change that. Make it clear. Page, current page index. Go. Page 2. Doesn't have anything on it. 4 items. Page 2 has this. Page 0 has this. Play, and then literally turn the stream off and run downstairs, put my shoes on, and go. I mean, my wife's going to pick him up anyway, but I am just joining for fun. Page 1, page 2, page 1, page 2, page 1, page 2, and go back the other way. I mean, it's a little bit difficult to tell if this is actually working because there's only 1 page. Let's go and make this. Let's go and make this a 1-item book. Boop, 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 boop. Build catalog. Well, that it keeps doing it in the main widget, doesn't it? It's annoying as heck. Right. Play. Play. Start. Close. Open. Build catalog. Page 2, page 3, page 3, page 2, page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6. Well, page 1, I suppose. Then you can press this, purchase a shelf, pop open the shelf thing. It has a little shelf in there. That's the next thing to work on. It's like get that thing down there looking really good. Okay, so this needs to be 8 items long. Save that. Save 8 as the default. And away we go. Thanks for joining. Is there a reason you haven't used MVVM for this? I joined the project 3 days ago. The first thing I said to them is, do you want to use Common UI and MVVM? Because it is like such a good game for MVVM, right? You're going to define your objects. You're going to have these libraries. It's going to be super simple. You're going to have one source truth. I think it's a little bit late. They've already blocked out like all of their stuff. That's pretty much it. I said, it's like the first message I sent in their channel. Hey, cool, senior project. Have you thought about using MVVM? What was the other one I asked them? There was something else. I think it was either Common UI or some other thing. I was like, hey, should we also consider using this? I should go check out the chat. Anyway, thanks for joining. I'm gonna go whip my shoes on and take a walk down the road and pick my kid up from school. So if you've all just joined in the last 5 minutes, I'm Renfano. I've been with UX is Fine, technical designer, technical UI designer. We do streams where we build out widgets, and in this little series of streams, what we've been doing lately is building UI for a team called The Large Lads, and they're building a game called Winterreach Emporium. It's a snowy what is it, like a ski shop simulator, where you sell all the all the gear to these like fantasy creatures like goblins and elves and trolls and stuff. So it's a cool little gaff. I really like the idea, and they were looking for a UMG designer on Reddit to help them with their project. So I jumped on it because I was like, cool, it's actually pretty far ahead. They've got all the artwork that they need. They're just missing a UI guy, or they had a UI guy, is no longer there. So if you've got a similar thing, or you want to let us know, someone who needs similar assistance in UMG, let us know. Happy to do it. Happy to do it. Thanks very much for joining. Go and check out the other live streams. I'll be back another time. Enjoy tomorrow and tonight. Just enjoy.